A bank account can disappear with a financial crisis. A harvest can fail after months of drought. But for millions of rural families across northern Nigeria, real wealth has never been stored in a vault or buried beneath the soil. It walks on four legs. That is the remarkable paradox of Nigeria's livestock industry. While goats are among the smallest farm animals, they have become one of the country's most valuable assets for smallholder farmers. Across the dry landscapes of Kano, Sokoto, Kaduna, and much of northern Nigeria, tens of millions of goats provide food, income, and financial security, where crop farming alone is often too risky. So why have goats become what many farmers call a living bank? The answer lies in their extraordinary ability to survive. Northern Nigeria faces some of the harshest farming conditions in the country. Long dry seasons, shrinking grazing lands, rising temperatures, and unpredictable rainfall make raising large livestock increasingly difficult. Yet breeds such as the red Sokoto goat and the West African dwarf goat have adapted to these environments over generations. They require relatively little feed, tolerate heat far better than many larger animals, and can thrive on shrubs and vegetation that cattle often ignore. More importantly, goats reproduce quickly. Within 6 to 12 months, a young animal can already contribute to the family's income, allowing farmers to rebuild their herds much faster after drought or disease. For rural households, that resilience is priceless. A few goats can pay school fees. They can cover emergency medical expenses. They can provide cash during failed harvests or unexpected hardship. In many villages, selling just one healthy goat is enough to help a family overcome a difficult season. But goat farming is not without challenges. Disease outbreaks, parasites, limited veterinary services, and severe feed shortages during the dry season continue to threaten productivity. To overcome these obstacles, farmers are increasingly adopting semi-intensive production systems, combining controlled grazing with supplemental feeding, improved breeding programs, vaccination campaigns, and better animal health management. These relatively simple improvements are increasing survival rates while producing healthier animals that command higher market prices. Today, goats contribute far more than meat. They support leather production, local trade, transportation businesses, veterinary services, and countless rural markets, creating an economic chain that benefits millions of people across Nigeria. The greatest lesson is surprisingly simple. For millions of families, prosperity is measured not by the size of a field, but by the health of a herd. Yet goats are only one part of Nigeria's remarkably diverse livestock sector. Another bird, once considered little more than a wild game species roaming the African savanna, is now becoming one of the country's fastest-growing commercial poultry businesses. That unexpected transformation begins with the helmeted Guinea fowl. Not every successful farm animal was born inside a barn. Some began their story in the wild. Across the open savannas of Africa, the helmeted guinea fowl once roamed freely in large flocks, surviving predators, scorching temperatures, and long dry seasons. Today, that same bird is quietly becoming one of Nigeria's most promising commercial poultry species. With an estimated 40 to 50 million birds, guinea fowl have become one of the largest native poultry populations in the country, particularly across the dry rural regions of northern Nigeria. How did a wild bird become a valuable farm business? The answer lies in something every farmer understands: resilience. Unlike many commercial chickens that require carefully controlled environments, guinea fowl evolved under some of Africa's harshest natural conditions. They tolerate intense heat remarkably well and spend much of the day foraging for grass seeds, termites, beetles, grasshoppers, ticks, snails, and other agricultural pests. By finding much of their own food, they help reduce feed costs while naturally controlling insects that damage nearby crops. But domestication brings new challenges. Ironically, one of Africa's toughest birds becomes highly vulnerable during its first weeks of life. Young guinea fowl chicks, known as keets, are extremely sensitive to cold, rain, and disease. Without proper brooding, mortality rates can be high, turning a promising enterprise into a costly failure. That challenge has encouraged farmers to adopt smarter production methods. Improved hatcheries now produce healthier chicks with higher survival rates. Modern brooding houses, equipped with controlled heating, clean drinking systems, balanced nutrition, and vaccination programs, protect young birds during their most fragile stage. Once fully feathered, however, guinea fowl become exceptionally hardy, thriving in free-range and semi-intensive systems with relatively modest inputs. Their resilience is only part of the story. Guinea fowl are also famous for their extraordinary alertness. At the slightest sign of a predator, or even an unfamiliar visitor, the entire flock erupts into loud, piercing calls, acting as a living alarm system for rural households long before danger reaches the farm. The reward is a premium product. Guinea fowl meat is prized for its rich flavor, lean texture, and high protein content, often commanding higher prices than conventional chicken. Their eggs, although smaller, have unusually thick shells that reduce breakage during transportation, from remote villages to busy urban markets. For thousands of Nigerian farmers, the helmeted guinea fowl represents far more than another source of meat. It transforms the natural resilience of a wild African bird into a profitable rural enterprise, proving once again that some of agriculture's greatest innovations come from working with nature rather than against it. Yet among all of Nigeria's livestock, none has shaped the country's history and economy more profoundly than cattle. Across the northern grasslands, vast herds of nearly 20 million cattle are now entering a new era where centuries-old traditions meet modern ranching and advanced livestock management. Few countries in Africa depend on cattle as deeply as Nigeria. With nearly 20 million head of cattle, the country possesses one of the largest cattle populations on the continent. Yet the greatest paradox is not the size of the herd. It is that centuries-old pastoral traditions now exist alongside some of the country's most advanced livestock production systems. Can these two worlds shape the future of Nigeria's beef industry together? For generations, herding has been the way of life for pastoral communities across northern Nigeria. Indigenous breeds, such as the white Fulani and Sokoto Gudali, have evolved to survive intense heat, seasonal droughts, and long migrations in search of pasture and water. Their remarkable endurance has allowed cattle production to flourish across landscapes where intensive farming would be difficult. But a rapidly growing population has changed the equation. As farmland expands and available grazing areas shrink, competition over land and water has intensified. Seasonal migration routes have become increasingly restricted, while prolonged dry seasons and climate change continue to reduce natural pasture. These pressures have made traditional livestock production more challenging than ever before. Rather than abandoning cattle farming, Nigeria is gradually transforming it. Across parts of the country, modern ranches are replacing open grazing with more organized production systems. Improved pasture management, controlled breeding programs, veterinary healthcare, and balanced nutrition are helping farmers raise healthier animals with greater productivity. Digital livestock identification, better disease surveillance, and improved water infrastructure are also becoming part of this agricultural transition. The goal is not simply to keep more cattle, it is to produce more beef and milk from every animal while reducing pressure on land and improving long-term sustainability. The impact reaches far beyond the ranch. Nigeria's cattle industry supports millions of livelihoods through meat production, dairy processing, leather manufacturing, transportation, veterinary services, feed supply, and countless rural businesses. every improvement in productivity strengthens not only individual farmers, but an entire agricultural economy. That is the final lesson from Nigeria's farming story. The future of agriculture is not about replacing tradition with technology. It is about combining generations of local knowledge with science, innovation, and smarter management to feed one of Africa's fastest-growing populations. And while Nigeria is modernizing its farms one field and one herd at a time, an even greater transformation is taking place beyond its borders. Around the world, extraordinary harvesting machines are redefining what agriculture can achieve, and that journey begins in California's vast almond orchards.